Join me for a full body, deep stretch yoga class. 45 minutes focused on increasing flexibility and ironing out any tight spots. Grab your mat and let's begin. Hello everyone, and welcome to Asana with Jess, starting with our hands at heart center, drawing some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, resetting the mind and the body, ready for our practice today. Placing your hands underneath your sit bones, drawing your shoulders away from your ears and tilting your head to the right, feeling a deep stretch down that left neck. Inhaling, and on the exhale, lifting your head back to center. This time tilting your head to the left, feeling a stretch down the right side of the neck. Inhaling, exhaling, and drawing that head back to center. This time taking some circles with your nose clockwise, tilting around to the right, nice and gentle, mobilizing the neck. Stopping and circling your nose the other way, anti-clockwise this time, circling around to the left, drawing nice big circles. Returning your head to center, this time bring the soles of your feet together, letting the knees splay out wide and holding onto your toes with your hands. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears, keeping the spine straight for our bound angle pose. Feeling this deep stretch in the groin and the hip flexors. Remembering to breathe deep into the diaphragm. Exhaling, releasing those knees closer towards the mat. Trying not to hyperextend the elbows, bringing a slight micro bend to them. To deepen this stretch a little bit further, we're going to lean towards the left, taking some circles clockwise. Down to the left, forward, to the right, and back. Down to the left again, circling in this motion, feeling this stretch in a few different places as you move. Returning to center, and this time circling the other way. Coming down to the right, to center, to the left, and back. To the right, anti-clockwise, and back to center. Releasing your hands and shifting onto all fours in a tabletop position, hands in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips. Tuck the toes under, Inhale, and on the exhale, lift the knees off the mat, Frau Beer pose, engaging the core, gazing down. And when you're ready, push the hips to the sky, straightening the legs for downward dog. Spreading your weight across all fingertips, releasing the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lift the heels off the mat. Exhale, press them down. Inhale, lift them off the mat. Exhale, press them further towards the earth. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. One more time, inhaling, lifting the heels. Exhaling, pressing them down. Taking a moment here to get the most out of your downward dog, pressing the shoulder blades together, lowering your sternum towards the mat. Gazing towards your hands, take 4 to 6 small steps towards them, coming into a standing forward bend. Taking some deep breaths here, ensuring you're bending from the hips, not the back. Wrapping your arms behind your knees this time and using your knees to pull your shoulder blades apart for a nice upper back stretch. A few more deep breaths here. Releasing your hands to the mat, placing them down and stepping your right foot back into a low lunge, followed by the left foot flowing through your chaturanga into upward facing dog and pushing the hips to the sky, untucking the toes, downward dog. Lifting the right foot into the sky, squaring off the hips, bending at the knee, tucking that knee into the chest and placing that foot behind your wrists, untucking the left toes for our pigeon pose, trying to get that front leg parallel to the short edge of your mat. Coming up tall, pressing your hands against your knees, gazing up, and coming down to your elbows if your body allows. Relaxing into this deep hip opener. Trying not to sink into your elbows too much. Breathing deep into the tightness, lowering closer to the mat with every exhale. Take one last deep breath in this pose. Slowly lift yourself back up. Lean onto that right hip. and bring the left leg around, placing the left ankle across the right knee, keeping both legs straight and pressing your knees away from your body. For our fire log pose, feeling this deep in the hip flexors. To deepen this pose, you can gently start to lean forward. And placing the elbows on your knees, pressing the knees towards the mat. Breathing deep into this pose, inhaling through the nose and releasing a cleansing exhale out through the mouth. When you are ready, you can slowly lift yourself back up. This time placing the left knee behind your wrist and lengthening the right leg out behind you. For our pigeon pose on the other side this time, trying to get that front leg parallel to the short edge of your mat, lifting up through the chest, gazing towards the ceiling. And when you're ready, coming down to your elbows. Trying not to hunch the shoulders, pulling them down and away from your ears. Making sure your hips are squared off to avoid overstretching. And being careful not to force anything. Just allow gravity to do the work. Take a few more breaths here. When you're ready, slowly lift your torso up and leaning on to that left hip, sweep the right leg around and in front of you, placing that right ankle on the left knee, trying to keep both legs parallel to the short edge of your mat. For our fire log pose on the other side this time, using your hands to gently push your knees towards the earth. Remembering you can gently lean forward to deepen this stretch, or you can bring your elbows to your knees, pressing those knees away from you. Remembering to breathe into this stretch, taking a few more breaths here. When you are ready, lift your torso up and make your way into a tabletop position, tucking the toes under, lifting the hips into the sky, untucking those toes for downward dog, pressing all fingertips and all toes into the mat, bending one knee at a time, resetting the body. Release those heels to the mat, bend at the knees, pointing the knees to the left and bending them to the right, to the left and the right, just releasing tension in the IT band and the hip flexors. Gazing towards your hands, step your right foot between them, turning the left foot at a 45-degree angle, bending that right knee and coming up into our warrior one, bringing your hands up above your head. Intertwining your fingers behind your back, keeping that front leg bent. Draw your chest towards that right knee, bringing your hands over the top of your head behind you. Feeling that deep stretch in the quad muscles and the hips, while also incorporating an upper back stretch. Inhale, and on the exhale, lift your torso back up, bringing your hands above your head. Turning that left foot to face the long edge of your mat and bringing your arms out wide, warrior two. Straighten that right leg and tip towards it, bringing right hand to right ankle, left arm up above, creating a straight line from your left hand to your right hand. Our triangle pose. A deep hamstring stretch. Bringing both hands now to the top of your mat, gazing towards them. Keep the right foot the same, but turn that left foot so that it is once more at a 45-degree angle towards the short edge of your mat. Square off the hips, drawing the right hip back and the left hip forward for our pyramid pose. Bringing both hands onto the mat, framing that front foot. It is okay to maintain a micro bend in that front knee. A few more breaths here. Turning both feet now to face the long edge of your mat. Tuck the toes inwards slightly to protect the ankles and bend from the hips for our wide-legged forward fold. You are welcome to choose any arm variation here. I have chosen to hold on to the outsides of my ankles, to pull my chest towards my knees. When you are ready, walk your hands towards the left foot, turn that foot to face the short edge of your mat, bend into that knee, keeping the right foot at a 45-degree angle, coming up into our Warrior One on the other side. Embracing the heat that is building in that front thigh, keeping the knee in line with the ankle. Feeling the stretch in that right quad muscle. Taking that bind, intertwining your hands behind your back, tilting the chest, lowering towards that left knee, bringing your arms over your head. Feeling this deep stretch up the hamstrings and the upper back. This pose also focuses on balance. Inhaling, and on the exhale, lifting that torso back up and bringing the hands into the sky. Keeping that left foot the same and turning the right foot to face the long edge of your mat. Opening up in the hips, bringing the arms at your sides for Warrior Two. Straightening that left leg, tipping towards it, bringing left hand to left ankle. Right arm up in the sky, drawing a straight line from hand to hand. Gazing up, bring both hands to the top of the mat, keep that left foot the same and turn the right foot at a 45-degree angle. Square off the hips, pulling the left hip back, pushing the right hip forward and hinging from the hips. For our pyramid pose. Framing that front foot with your hands or using yoga blocks if you can't reach. One more breath here. Turning both feet now to the long edge of your mat, coming into a wide-legged forward fold to reset. Bringing your hands to your ankles if you choose. Trying to pull your body closer to your legs, but making sure to bend from the hips, not the back. A few more breaths here. Bring the feet in slightly closer and pointing the toes outwards. Bend at the knees, sinking down into our yoga squat. Bringing your hands in prayer position, using the elbows to push the knees apart. Trying to keep your back straight. Feeling the stretch in the groin and the ankles. And lowering your hips to the mat, tucking your knees under, coming into a kneeling position. For an added stretch, you can keep your toes tucked under. Taking some arm stretches now. Lift your left arm over your head, bending at the elbow, taking your right arm underneath you, linking behind your back like I'm showing here. Intertwining the fingers a little bit if you can reach, but it's okay if you can't. Try and pull those elbows in, initiating a tricep stretch. For our cow face pose, remembering to breathe into this pose, lifting through the chest. And releasing your hands. If you were taking the toe stretch, you can untuck your toes. Moving to the other side this time, lifting the right arm over your head and linking the left arm behind your back. Joining fingers if you can. Really pulling at those hands, trying to initiate that tricep stretch. Taking a few more breaths here. And releasing those hands. Moving to the right of your mat, elongating the left leg out to your side, tilting to the left, bringing the right arm over the top of your head, looking up towards the ceiling underneath that armpit for a deep side stretch. And slowly lift your torso up, keeping your legs the same, but this time sitting your hips back onto your foot, flexing the left toes and leaning towards the mat for a deep hamstring stretch. Allowing this to be a very passive pose, letting gravity pull you towards your mat. Slowly walk your hands in towards your body, tuck that left leg back in, and we'll take this to the other side, shifting to the left of your mat and elongating the right leg out to the side. Turning your body towards that foot, lifting the left arm above the head, gazing up underneath that armpit. Embracing that lovely side stretch down that left torso. One more breath here. Slowly, inch by inch, bringing your body back up to center. Sitting back onto that left heel, flexing the right toes, and bending towards the mat, bringing your hands above your head. Breathing in to this hamstring stretch. It can be quite intense and you don't have to sit all the way back onto your heel. Let your body guide you and only go as far as what is comfortable. Slowly walk your hands back in to center and tuck that right leg back in towards your body. Coming down onto your sit bones now, elongating your legs out in front of you. Pulling the right knee into the chest. Holding on to the outside of that right foot with the left hand. Lifting it up and bending at the knee, bringing that right arm straight behind you. If you'd like to take this a step further, you can extend that right leg straight. To come out of this pose, you can draw that right knee in towards the chest and release that leg down to the mat. Moving on to the other side, drawing the left foot in this time, holding onto it from the outside with your right hand and bringing the left hand behind you for both a hamstring stretch and a supine twist, remembering you can extend that leg straight for a deeper stretch. Breathing into this deep stretch for a few more seconds. And releasing from this pose by bending that left knee back into the chest and releasing it towards the mat. Shifting forward to allow room to lie down. Cross the right leg over the left leg. Bring your hands out to your side, either straight or in a cacti position. Lift the knees and drop them towards the left, gazing over that right shoulder. Bringing your focus towards your body and your breath as we start to wind down. Feeling the rise and the drop of the belly as you inhale and exhale. Inhale, and on the exhale, lift the knees back to center. Uncross your legs, and this time wrap the left leg over the right leg. Tilt the knees to the right, gazing over that left shoulder. Embracing the stretch down your spine with this supine twist. Inhale, and on the exhale, lift your knees back to center and extend them out long, bringing your hands at your sides, palms facing up for our last pose, Savasana. Breathing deep into the diaphragm, letting it all go. Acknowledging how your body feels different to when you started your practice today. Allowing your body this sacred pause, keeping your mind to the present moment. Trying to breathe into the chest, the belly, and the ribs, expanding the lungs, and exhaling slow and controlled. Begin to wiggle your toes and fingers, bringing your body back to the present, opening your eyes, drawing your hands over your head, igniting a big stretch through the whole body. And when you're ready, tuck the knees into the chest one by one and roll onto your side, fetal position. Gently bring yourself back up, crossing the knees at the middle of the mat. Taking some last stretches now through the wrists. Planting both hands, palms down, fingertips facing towards you, feeling that lengthen through the wrists. Deepening the stretch by leaning a little bit further forward. And stretching the other way this time, changing so your palms are now facing up, fingertips still face towards you. Feeling that stretch down the top of the wrists. Intertwining your fingers now, taking some circular motions in both directions, releasing any tension in the wrists. Drawing your hands down to Anjali Mudra, heart center. Thank your body for taking you through this yoga class today. I hope you feel more flexible and have had a deep stretch. Feel how your body is different and embrace it. Taking one last deep breath here. Thank you so much for practicing yoga with me today. Sending you love and light. Namaste.